Okay, a pivotal reality. Perhaps Jesus of Nazareth is actually a supernatural God visitation, the Son of God. He calls us all friends. And he says, I give you my mind. So, let's pretend that the rumor is true, that Jesus is God and completely beneficial to us. There's a passage, John chapter 6, verse 25 to 30. It's quite interesting. The disciples have seen Jesus of Nazareth multiply food and create food for thousands from a handful of bread and a handful of fish. Created food for thousands, and there were 12 baskets left over after everyone was completely filled. Now, in this cool passage, John chapter 6, Jesus is in the boat with the fishermen disciples. And he says, listen, you guys are coming after me because you saw me conjure up food for thousands and you guys are hungry right now. Do not chase after ordinary food that you put in your body, but rather chase after the food that is supernatural wisdom that lasts into the next realm. And then, to their credit, they say, okay, you're right. We really are hungry, and we were hoping maybe you could make up some food for us. And then they ask him the most beautiful question possibly in the entire Bible. How do we get in on the work of Creator God like you are? How do we get in on the work of the Creator God like you are obviously in on that work? And Yeshua says a handful of words. These words are presented in the Koine Greek language, but he probably spoke in Aramaic. But the things that were written down by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they were written down in the Greek business language, Koine Greek. The Greek business language is fascinating. It's got no punctuation marks at all. You can't do a comma, there's no dashes, there's no periods, there's no exclamation points. There's no punctuation. And also, there's no upper and lower case. You can't emphasize any words. It's all uppercase. It's all like capital letters. So what was recorded and written down that Jesus said is all in the Koine Greek language. So they ask him this question: how do we do the work of the amazing, wonderful creator God who loves everybody? How do we do the beautiful work of God like you do? And he says, pistuo. Pistuo. Pistuo means connect with, attach to, become twinsies with, cleave to. Like a cloven hoof is two parts that are exactly the same, and they're stuck together, and you can't take them apart. They're like two little twinsies. This word pistuo is a powerful, complex word. It is translated into English, believe, which is a nasty, incomplete translation. Don't hate the Bible because it has problems with it. Understand it, because it is supernaturally preserved. It's bizarre. It's amazing. Do not push away or diss the Bible. It's got roots that are spectacular. So, the disciples say to Yeshua, how do we get in on the work of God? And he says, pistuo, attached to the one that God has sent to you. Attached to. Connect with. Connect with the person that God, heaven, peace, truth has sent to you. That is actually how you get in on the work of God the Creator, is you discern what person has been sent to you that has the greatest wisdom, knowledge, ability, guidance, etc., and you connect with that person. And actually, whatever, if you're helping them sort out their paper clips, You are actually helping their life work along so that you are actually helping God's life work because God has basically put that person together. So, this is the key to a whole lot of stuff. Now, I work in rehab centers, and I like to ask the people, okay, who is the first person that like was really connected with God that came into your life? And then what was the next one, and what was the next one? And discerning who your sent ones have been is actually a wise part of life in meditation. Because you will be led to a series of people, because some people have a portion of the message, and other people that you come close to, wow, they have other portions of the message that that person doesn't have. So you go through a series of sent ones. But now I challenge you to the reality that Jesus taught that we're to gather together in a cluster of families, 2 or 3 family men and their families, and lots of people that are inspired to be single like Jesus. See, Jesus showed up and he's like, hi, I'm the designer of your eyes and your hands and all the flavors and pleasures of the world. So he comes in and he does not enjoy the marriage pleasure. Oh my gosh, the feel good of the body is such a nice part of life. It's a pleasant thing. He does not enjoy the marriage bed pleasure, but walks as a single person. He walks single instead of choosing to be married. And he makes this example. Hey, if you can understand the eternal value, the next life value of walking single like me, then you ought to do that for your own life. Does he say it's going to be easy? No, because you got the body hungries and you're designed for the comfort of family and children and all kinds of stuff. Remember Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch. The guy can't have babies, and he's obsessed with this one passage in Isaiah 56. Or no, who can speak of his descendants? That's right. I'm not sure what the passage is, but he's obsessed with this thing. There's a guy that doesn't have any babies. There's a guy that has no descendants. Who is this person? He's like me. And this whole awareness of being single like Jesus and not having a household and children is a peculiar and wonderful part of being in the new covenant, aware of the opening of the next realm. And that's a thing that was never taught to me as a child in standard American Christianity, and many other things weren't taught. I mean, the Jesus disciples are supposed to have a marvelous discernment about spirits. Now, I was conceived by 2 people who clearly had spirits of promiscuity. Both of my parents, my father I didn't even meet until I was 40 years old. Both of my parents had a cheerful, wonderful, playful promiscuity to them. Now, no one ever told me that I might have problems with that in my own life, because the Christianity around me was full of holes. It was like a tattered mess. There were so many missing things. And I don't have any condemnation for my parents or my elders, but I'm telling you, I was raised unaware of what was going on in the spirit realm around me, and I was literally being submissive to a handful of dopey spirits that were helping me to be self-destructive and even cheerfully hurt my friends, not knowing how much problems I was causing. So, all of this stuff is fascinating. I've learned a lot. This is your opportunity to consider, who are you connected with and who will help you stay alive and be prepared for your next realm when you're snuffed out. This is the presentation of an opportunity for you to know the Holy Spirit of God that's given as a gift, and to know the teachings of Yeshua, many of which are forgotten, and also to become a sent one, so that you can be like I am and go out and care for people in ways that are simple, logical, and even children understand these ways of truth and peace very well. Matthew 18, it is written, "You will not and cannot enter the friendship with God if you do not come like a little child. Keep up your child heart. Peace be with you.